Welcome student in today's online section of subject mechatronics. Today we are going to see the next topic of this subject, and today we are going to study about the measurement system. Then we will see about this measurement system, then its characteristics, which are static characteristics and dynamic characteristics, then precision, accuracies, then linear characteristics. All these things we are going to study today. So focus on your screen here. So this measurement system, it is the part of instrumentation system. Okay, so here we are. So an instrumentation or measurement process or measurement system can be viewed as a system whose input is the true value of the variable being measured and output is the measured value. So what is measurement system? It is the system whose input is the quantity which is we need to measure, and output it is in the form of the measured value. Okay, so listen be carefully. A system is defined as ordinary combination or arrangement of components which are connected or interrelated to form a single unit which performing a defined function. A large system consists of several subsystems. Here you can see this is a measurement system whose input is the true value of the variable and output is the measured value of variable. Suppose our thermometer is considered as a measurement system, then we directly connect this thermometer to the to our body. If we are going to measure the temperature of our human body, then it is connected directly to the human body. So what will be its input? It is the true value of variable, and what is this output? Its output is the measured value of variable. Means we get this output from this thermometer in the form of the temperature, which is measured value, and its input is directly or true value of the variable. Okay, so here on your screen you can see we have this diagram here, measurement system having input and output. Suppose we need to measure the pressure, then its input is directly pressure and its output is the it is in the form of measure value, which is in the form of the bar or psi. Okay, same input for the speed also. You know the speed tachometer, which is used to measure the speed, it is directly connected to the wheels which rotation we need to measure, and its output it come in the form of the rpm, means rotation per minute. Okay, then here you can see on your screen that the element of an instrumentation system. So firstly we have first element, which is sensor, then second component it is of single processor, then after this we have the component name display, sometime recorder is there, sometime transmitter or transmit system is there. So you can see sensor sends the input, then send it to the processor, then processor either directly send it to the display or send it to the record or transmit it. So all these are the components of measurement system. Okay, so you can see on your screen what is sensors. We are going to study about this sensor here. It is the first or primary component of the measurement system. You can see here sensor, this is the element in contact with the process for which a variable is measured. It gives an output which depends in some way on the value of the variable. Sensor is directly sense the input. For example, a thermocouple is a sensor which converts temperature changes into a small EMF, means electromagnetic field output, which is might be amplified to give a reading on a meter. You know what is thermocouple? Thermocouple is used to measure the temperature. So a sensor, which is a part of thermocouple, it directly senses this temperature and converts this sense temperature into a small electromagnetic field output, and this changes in electromagnetic field output is then amplified and it is displayed on the display unit. Then signal conditioner, it is second component. As we have seen in previous lectures, the element converts the sensor output into a form which is suitable for further processing, such as display or onward transmission in some control system. Okay. In case of the resistance thermistor, there might be a signal conditioning of Wheatstone bridge which transposes the resistance change into a voltage change, then amplifier to make the voltage big enough for display. So here what is happening, it is the signal conditioner, means the signal received from this sensor is get conditioned, means work here, and then it sends to the display unit. So normally as we firstly take the example of thermistor or thermocouple, so there is a Wheatstone bridge which is used to sense the change in small resistors, and after this Wheatstone bridge senses the change in EMF, its send is to the change into a voltage change, and then its send is to the amplifier to make a amplifier, and then this amplifier is to make the voltage big enough for the display. Okay, so what is happening here, sensor sensing, then it is its signal is then sent to the signal conditioner. The signal conditioner either a combined unit of the, here in case of thermistor it is a combined unit of Wheatstone bridge and the amplifier. So what Wheatstone bridge did, Wheatstone bridge sense the change in small EMF or change the sense in the small resistance, and then amplifier amplifies that change in voltage, and then this amplifier amplifies it, means make it big voltage so that it can be displayed. This data presentation or display unit. So this is the part of measurement system. This presents or displays the measured value in a suitable form of the operator. This may be done using a pointer moving across the scale of a meter by the presenting information on a visual display. You know there are two types of displays. One is the pointer and another one is the automated one, or you may say it is the digital one. Okay. So whenever we measure the pressure in our two-wheeler or four-wheelers, there is this pressure is indicated on the dial gauge where the pointer moves. So this pointer or this dial gauge, it is the display or representing unit. Sometimes this display is directly shows in the form of the digital digits, which we call this as a digital meter. Here alternatively the signal may be recorded, example on the paper of a chart of recorder, or transmitted to some other system such as control system. So then here we are going to see important part of today's section, which is characteristics of the measurement system. So there are mostly two types. First one is the static and another one is the dynamic characteristics. Here you can see on your screen the performance of a measure system are described using several characteristics or indices. The first, the two characteristics can be categorized as static and dynamic characteristics. So what is the static characteristic? So static concerns only with the steady state reading that the instrument settle down to, such as the accuracy of the reading, etc. Again listen me. Static characteristics describe the performance at room temperature condition with very low changes in the measured quantities. Okay. So static means they are mostly stable. And what is this dynamic? This dynamic characteristic describes the transient behavior between the time a measured quantity changes value and the time when the instrument's output attain a steady value in response. Okay, so I will teach you this dynamic characteristics in brief. Okay, so dynamic characteristics can be stated as it's if a measure device is used for measuring and rapidly varying quantity. So what we can say, static characteristics are the of devices are available when we are going to measure the variables which remains steady for mostly periods. And what is dynamic characteristics? If a measured device is used for measuring any rapidly varying quantity, the relation between the output and input is different that in case of static input. This is called the dynamic response of the device. So when we are going to measure the steady state reading, at that time mostly we will get the static characteristics. But when we are going to measure the variables or quantities which vary rapidly with time, at that time we get the dynamic characteristics of the measuring device. Okay, here further, now we are going to see the static characteristics of the instruments which are here. Accuracy, then resolution, then precision, repeatability, sensitivity, and linearity. Okay, so here we are going to start from this accuracy. So the accuracy of an instrument is a measurement of how close the output reading of the instrument is to the correct value. This is how small is the error in the reading. So accuracy means it is the how small the error in the reading is termed as accuracy. Normally the devices are mainly 90 to 99% accurate, as no device is 100% accurate there. Okay. So measurement uncertainty in the extent to which a reading might be wrong and is often quoted as a percentage of full scale reading of an instrument. Here you can see accuracy. If the pressure gauge of range 0 to 10 bar has a quoted inaccuracy of plus minus 1% of full scale, means plus minus 1% of full scale reading, then the maximum error to be expected in reading is 0.1 bar. This means that when the instrument reading is 1 bar, the possible error is 10% of this value. Means here what is this accuracy is indicated in form of the percentage of full scale. Okay. For this reason, an important rule is to choose the instrument which has measure range appropriate to the spread of value being measured in order to achieve the best possible accuracy in the reading. Thus, if we were measuring pressure with expected values between 0 and 1 bar, we would not use an instrument with a range of 0 to 10 bar. Okay. So normally this is the rule which is made for this measuring instrument, that the range of the instrument should not be high enough. Here what they want to say is that if we want to measure the value of pressure between 0 to 1 bar, then at that time you need to use the pressure bar which is having a higher range of measurement should not be greater than should not be much more higher than here. For to measure the 0 to 1 bar, we will not allow we will not have to use this instrument which range 0 to 10 bar. So if you want to measure the 0 to 1 bar, then at that time this 1 bar should be the 75% of the higher limit. Means to measure this 1 bar, we can use the pressure bar which is having upper limit is 0 to 1.5 bar. Okay. For this higher limit gauges or higher limit instruments are not allowed to measure the small values. To measure the small values of this variable, the small scale or small range small range instrument should be used there. Then what is precision? Precision, it is the repeatability. So precision is terms that describe how close are repeated measurement of the same value of the measured variable. Repeated measurement of the same value can vary due to random errors. Thus precision describes the instrument's degree of freedom from random errors. If a large number of readings are taken of the same quantity by a high precision instruments, then the spread of reading will be very small. Simply, this precision is the repeatability of the measurement. Here you can see the precision is often through the incorrectly confused with the accuracy, but precision and accuracy are different. Precision means repeatability and accuracy means how small the error is. A high precision instruments may have a low accuracy. Here you can see the value comes very close to each other, but does not mean. Here you can see this is the small circle, this small inner circle, it is the accurate value, and these dots denotes the value measured by the instrument. So none of the value is coming, only these few values is coming closer to the true value or correct value. So here here what they are saying that a high precision instruments may have a low accuracy. Means here you can see the values are coming very close to each other, but none of these value is very near to the true value. Okay, so that's why we can say a high precision instrument may have a low accuracy. Low accuracy measurement from a high precision instruments are normally caused by a bias in the measurement, which is removable by recalibration. So normally what is happening, this low accuracy is due to the some fault or some error in this instrument. That's why this low accuracy will be achieved. So it can be removed by the recalibration. Recalibration means we calibrate the measurement instruments, and after this recalibration we can achieve the high accuracy of this measuring instrument. Then here we are, what is tolerance? So tolerance is term that is closely related to the accuracy and defines the maximum error that is to be expected in the same value. So it is tolerance is closely related to the accuracy. The accuracy of some instrument is sometimes caused as a tolerance figure. Okay. Then range or span. The range or span of an instrument defines the maximum and minimum values of quantity that the instrument is designed to measure. Suppose we are having a pressure gauge which is upper or higher measurement value, higher value in that measuring scale is 100 bar and lower measured value on the scale is 0 bar, then we can say its range or span is 100. So what is this range or span? A range or span of an instrument defines the minimum and maximum value of quantities that the instrument is designed to measure. Then this is the linearity. It is the characteristics of this measuring instrument. So it is the normally desirable that the output reading of an instrument is linearly proportional to the quantities being measured. So here you can see this y-axis denotes the output reading and x-axis denotes the measured quantity. So in this figure, the cross marks shows a plot of typical output reading of an instrument when the sequence of input quantities are applied. So when we plot the input and output quantities by the cross marks, and if we are finding a linear relation between them, then it is desirable. If fitting a straight line through this mark, it is clear that the device can be considered as a linear device. Okay, and the non-linearity is then defined as the maximum deviation. Here you can see maximum deviation of any output reading from this straight line. This is the straight line and this is the reading which comes out away from this straight line or linear graph. Then this is the main difference between this straight line and this mark point. It term as a non-linearity or maximum deviation. Non-linearity is usually expressed as a percentage of full scale reading. Then sensitivity is important. The sensitivity, it is the ratio of change in instrument output to the change in measured quantity. This is normally delta y by delta x, which is change in measured quantity to the change in instrument quantity to the change in measured quantity. The sensitivity of measurement is therefore the slope of the straight line drawn in the previous slide. Okay. Okay students, so here we studied about this static characteristics. In the next section we will see about the dynamic characteristics of the measuring device. Thank you. See you in the next section.